Stop. Before you hit that skip button, ask yourself one crucial question. Are you currently living your absolute best working life? If the answer is even slightly no, you cannot leave. Stay right here because today's debate on where we work is about to change everything. Welcome back to Fluent Talk.
And welcome back to you too. We hope you're ready for another high-value English session. Friends, let's be clear about our mission for you. This entire program is constructed so that you can understand English at a normal, conversational speaking pace. If you can follow every word, every natural pause, and every complex argument in this video, then your English comprehension is truly excellent. You will not have major problems understanding the general speech of people anymore.
That's right. And if you don't catch everything immediately, please don't get discouraged. This is advanced, native-level English. Just pause the video, and here's the secret. If you don't know a word, look it up, and then listen repeatedly. Listen to the segment 3, 5, maybe 10 times. That deep, consistent repetition is the key. Keep listening regularly, and I promise your listening skills will level up to a professional degree.
Excellent advice, and well worth repeating. Now, let's leave the study tips behind and dive into today's monumental debate: remote work versus the office. I argue, without hesitation, that the traditional office environment is fundamentally necessary for true business success and the preservation of irreplaceable company culture.
And I argue, Mr. Control, that the corporate demand for office presence is a completely outdated, massively expensive, and frankly silly relic of management paranoia. The freedom of remote work is the future, and it is here to stay.
That is a truly bold claim, Miss Citizen. We must consider the immense impact on corporate structure and the unintended consequences of a fully dispersed workforce. Let's first tackle the issue of productivity. Studies show a real phenomenon known as the productivity paradox with remote work. While individual output might look good on paper, the lack of real-time supervision and spontaneous collaboration leads to a long-term decline in innovation and collective efficacy.
The productivity paradox you cite is based on outdated, old-fashioned ideas about work. Remote workers often achieve more because they eliminate the dreadful commute tax, those wasted hours and fuel costs.
The productivity paradox? Miss Citizen, please slow down for a moment. What precisely is this productivity paradox you just mentioned? I don't think everyone listening will understand that technical term.
I'm happy to clarify. The productivity paradox is the idea that even though employees might report fewer distractions and work longer hours at home, the overall collective output, innovation, and long-term quality of work for the entire company still declines. It's a contradiction.
I understand the theory, but I still believe it. Furthermore, this detachment fragments the company identity. We lose the crucial water cooler talk, those informal 10-second discussions that often solve complex problems instantly.
Oh, come on. Water cooler talk usually means boring gossip and endless distraction. We can schedule the necessary brainstorming sessions, but the rest of the time, let me focus on deep, efficient work in my quiet home office.
But corporations spend billions on physical office space. Abandoning that asset for full-time remote work is a catastrophic economic waste for the company's balance sheet and investors.
You speak of balance sheets, but what about the human cost? Mandatory office presence damages employee morale deeply. Employees feel they are not trusted. The forced presence often leads to higher turnover rates, which is the real cost to the company in the long run.
Culture cannot be built on video calls. A strong company culture requires physical presence. It needs shared coffee breaks, team lunches, and genuine organic interactions. That sense of collective mission is simply lost when everyone is isolated in their home bubble.
What kind of culture are you building if it completely disintegrates the moment people leave the building? True, lasting culture is built on mutual respect and shared values, not on shared geography. The office becomes merely a babysitting environment for managers who are too insecure to trust their staff.
I must interrupt again. You used a term earlier that sounds intriguing. Digital nomad. What is the exact difference between simply working from home and being a digital nomad? I need that defined for the listeners.
Excellent question. Working from home means you're tied to one location, your house. A digital nomad is someone who uses the flexibility of remote work to constantly travel, living and working from different cities or even countries throughout the year. They're still productive, but they gain incredible freedom.
That sounds completely unsustainable and fundamentally irresponsible. How can an employee possibly feel loyalty to a company if they are constantly hopping between time zones? It complicates payroll, tax, and local compliance immensely.
It's complicated for accounting, yes, but not impossible. The benefits to the employee, reduced personal stress, improved work-life balance, far outweigh the administrative hassles, which are, frankly, solvable with modern good software.
Managers need to manage effectively. This requires physical oversight. When employees are working remotely, managers lose the ability to read nonverbal cues, to track engagement, and to provide instant, meaningful coaching. This fundamentally degrades the quality of supervision.
That style of management is called time served, not results driven. Good modern managers focus exclusively on deliverables, not on counting heads and chairs. If management relies on micromanaging physical presence, then the management model itself is inherently broken.
But what about complex, high-stakes decisions? These require everyone in the room. A major merger, a critical negotiation, or a sensitive disciplinary action simply cannot be handled effectively through a video call with lagging internet and technical glitches.
That's why the hybrid model exists. We can maintain remote work for 80% of daily tasks, but mandate the occasional strategic gathering for those absolutely high-stakes moments. This gives us the best of both worlds, surely.
The hybrid model? That is a buzzword I hear constantly. For our audience, could you briefly define exactly how the hybrid model is supposed to operate efficiently?
Of course. The hybrid model typically requires employees to come into the office only 1 to 3 days a week, or even just once a month, depending on the role. It retains the collaborative benefits you value while giving employees the essential flexibility they deserve.
I remain skeptical. I believe the physical separation it creates will inevitably lead to an us versus them mentality between those who are present and those who are remote, fragmenting the company's identity and loyalty over time.
You keep mentioning the cost to the company, but let's talk about the fairness to the employee. Why should I, the worker, incur the entire costs of heating, lighting, high-speed internet, and home equipment upgrades when I am performing work solely for the benefit of the corporation? That is an unfair commute tax that goes beyond just wasted time.
The employee benefits immensely from the savings in commuting, clothing, and external lunch costs. They are compensated fairly already. Furthermore, the office provides superior, necessary infrastructure, faster network speeds, enterprise-level security, and specialized equipment that is essential for certain roles.
The security argument is fundamentally outdated. Modern VPNs and cloud security protocols are highly effective. You are just afraid of relinquishing physical, visual control. But let's talk about e-waste. Tell me, Mr. Control, how does this mandate impact our environmental responsibility?
E-waste? What is that exactly? And how does electronic garbage connect to the question of where we physically work? That seems like a random, highly environmental shift in topic, honestly.
Not random at all. E-waste is short for electronic waste. All the old phones, laptops, and monitors we throw away, which contain toxic materials. When companies force everyone into the office, they have to equip every single desk with a duplicate monitor, keyboard, and dock, generating far more equipment waste than if people use their dedicated home setups.
I see your point on the physical equipment duplication and the subsequent e-waste, but we must provide standardized, identical equipment to ensure a consistent, secure experience for our teams.
The solution is flexibility and stipends. Give the employee a budget to buy their own professional home setup, which they will maintain, and you save immense amounts on overhead, rent, and e-waste. It's a triple win.
Career growth is fundamentally dependent on visibility. Employees who are physically present, who attend the impromptu meetings, and who are available for immediate, high-priority tasks will always have a distinct advantage in promotion and growth. Remote workers risk becoming invisible and forgotten.
That, Mr. Control, is exactly the problem with the current model. Career growth should be based on deliverables and merit, not on FaceTime or proximity to the boss's office. The traditional model rewards presence, not performance. Remote work forces companies to evaluate based on objective output, which is fair.
But the crucial process of mentoring is much more difficult remotely. New employees learn through osmosis, listening to experienced colleagues on a call, seeing how they handle a client face-to-face. This essential, organic transfer of knowledge is significantly degraded by purely remote work.
It is degraded only if you rely on accidental learning. Remote work forces companies to create intentional mentoring programs, scheduled, focused sessions, which are often far more equitable and effective than relying on accidental, overheard conversations. It makes training a priority, not an afterthought.
You mentioned a term repeatedly that I feel we should define for everyone: commute tax. Is that a real official government tax, or is that simply a highly political metaphor you are using?
Oh, it's not an official tax, no. Commute tax is a powerful metaphor for all the wasted resources. The personal money spent on gas and train fares, the time lost sitting in traffic, and the mental stress incurred just to get to your desk. It's a huge, hidden cost borne entirely by the employee, and it's time to end it.
Regardless, networking, which is absolutely essential for advancement and finding new clients, is best done physically at conferences, corporate events, and client dinners. You cannot build a powerful, lasting professional network from your living room. I maintain that for organizations that value strong, immediate collaboration, cultural continuity, and deep mentorship, the physical office remains the most effective, most secure, and most productive environment. The hybrid model is, at best, a temporary compromise, but the office must remain the central hub of all activity.
Mr. Control, I conclude that for organizations that truly value trust, work-life balance, sustainability, and objective, results-based performance, remote work, or a flexible hybrid model is the superior long-term solution. The traditional office is simply an expensive, time-wasting distraction from true productivity and employee happiness.
The reality remains that innovation requires proximity. We must be able to gather quickly, whiteboard ideas spontaneously, and share physical space to solve complex, urgent problems effectively.
The reality remains that employees demand autonomy. The power struggle over where we work is a battle over outdated control versus modern trust. Companies must stop dictating location and start trusting results.
Perhaps the most realistic outcome is a carefully structured hybrid model that respects both the intrinsic need for human connection and the desire for personal, deep focus time.
If that hybrid model is implemented, I will happily choose my 2 remote days and begin planning my next digital nomad adventure immediately.
And with that energetic and at times humorous impasse, we conclude today's essential debate on remote work versus the office.
Mr. Control presented a strong, structured case for physical presence, citing culture, collaboration, and the need for managerial oversight to prevent the so-called productivity paradox.
While I, Miss Citizen, passionately argued for the necessity of flexibility and freedom, citing reduced commute tax and superior work-life balance achieved by embracing the hybrid model.
Now it is up to you. Which side won the debate? And more importantly, think about the huge benefit you just received. By listening to this entire challenging debate, you have trained your ear to understand complex English arguments, specialized vocabulary, and natural conversational flow, pauses, and laughter. If you understood every word, your English is truly superb. You are building real-world fluency and moving towards a professional level of comprehension.
Remember, if you followed most of that, you are doing brilliantly. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more intense, high-value debates every single day on Fluent Talk. And if you struggled, remember our advice. Listen, pause, translate the one word, and listen again, and again.
Join us next time for EP19, where we will tackle the ethics of space colonization. Should humanity leave Earth or fix the problems we have here first?
That promises to be a truly astronomical discussion. Thank you for challenging your English skills with us today.
Bye for now. And remember, success in English comes from consistent, focused listening.